What's going on, y'all? Back with another quick story, Tales from the Trap. Today's story, I'm gonna give y'all a little backstory, before I actually hit the trap. But what made me actually lead me to going out there to them streets. Just a group home story. So, I'm 16 and I'm in a group home. Like I was saying in the prior video, when I was 16, my mom, she emancipated me, which means she signed over her rights to me, saying that I was my own person, my own adult. And she had me put in a group home. So I'm 16 and I'm in a group home. And it was a low level group home to where, I could still earn my weekend passes to go home. And I wasn't in a facility. I was actually in a group home, like an actual home. They had the boys group home that I was in, and then they had the female group home that was next door. And I was still placed in Greensboro, so it wasn't like I was shipped out of state, out of town, or nothing like that. It was my little group home stay was through, my mom placing me in out of home placement. I wasn't recommended through the courts or nothing like that. It was more like my mom met somebody that had a group home and was willing to take me in. So after my mom sent me to the group home, I'm there for a few months. I was actually one of the first residents because it was a new group home. It was a black-owned group home, and I was one of the first residents. So I had already been there for a few months, just chilling. And by the time they did start bringing other clients in, I had already started working my way up to get my weekend home visits. So I'm going home and I'm bringing back weed, cigarettes, little MD 2020s, because that's what we was drinking on back then. Man, I did that for a while. Couple weeks, I'm bringing back weed, because that was my first drug of choice to sell anyway. So I was already dibbling and dabbling with the weed. Then that good kush started coming in, and I was getting that good kush from my best friend's brother and bringing it back to the group home. Now, you ever been in a group home, or even if you ever lived in a house where if you open up a door or a window, it's going to go off like back door open or side window, back window open. I knew how to finesse it to where I could lift the window up and take a piece of aluminum foil, as long as I kept the foil right there where the magnet at, and slide the window up slow. It wouldn't notify that the window was open. So I'd jump out the window at night, wait, lights out was at 9 o'clock. I'd jump out the window probably about 11, 12, give it a few hours, let everybody, go to sleep. And the third shift worker there, mind you, all the workers except for the director and his business partner, Mr. Lorenzo and Mr. BJ, all of them was young, except for Mr. Lorenzo and Mr. BJ. All of them literally was still in college. It was black owned, so it was all black, all black employees. So one night, I jumps out the window to go smoke me a little cigarette, hit me a little blunt. And I'll never forget him. His name is Mr. Terry. Cool as hell. He was about 22, 23, going to A&T. I jump out the window and I'll walk around like to where the side of the building there, because it wasn't no cameras. It was just alarm systems. They ain't have no camera in the group home. I guess for like safety rights, or being that we was all minors, they couldn't have no cameras in the crib. So I jumped out the window, go around the building, spark my little blunt. I'm sitting on the side of the building, on the side of the house. Mr. Terry walks up and tapped me on my shoulder. I turn around, deer in the headlights. I'm just looking at him. He looking at me. He gonna say, "Damn, what that shit smell like some gas? Let me hit it one time." I just gave him the blunt. He hit it. He like, "Oh yeah, you gonna have to come up off of this." Like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna write you up or nothing. Just go and jump back in the window and lay down. Whole time, he out. He got a little shorty that he deal with pulling up at the group home, and they out sitting in front of the group home. They was already smoking and doing their thing. I wasn't paying that no attention because I'm really thinking that that's his car. And I know that shit nobody be sitting right here, shit nobody be out. It's already late. Man, couple of days don't roll by. He come back up to me like, "Hey, boy, where you get that from?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" He like, "Well, you know what I'm talking about. Where you get that from?" I like, "Man, I be bringing it back from the crib." He was like, "You got this?" And I was like, "Nah, I be getting it from my peoples, but I got enough to where, shit, as long as you don't say nothing, we can go outside and smoke at night when you on shift." He like, "Bet." So that's what we'll start doing. That become my routine. Shifts that I wouldn't even smoke. I wouldn't even try to chance it or nothing when he wasn't there because I knew that all I had to do was wait on him to come and I could smoke. So on his shifts, we'll same time, 11, 12 o'clock, he'll come and tap on my door and me and him will go outside. I ain't even have to go sneak out the window or nothing no more. Me and him will go outside, but we'll go on the side where the garage is at. And that's where me and him smoked at. Or we'll sit on this little back patio, blowing it down. So then he started telling me about the guy that had work. Second shift, Issa. I'm thinking he'll stick in the mud, but he a young nigga too though. But he probably like 25, 26, maybe 27. And he started telling me that he used to get his bud from bruh, but I guess he don't sell bud no more. But they was, when he come to relieve Issa, he'll smoke with him. Man, I get the nerve to go and test Issa on some. I said, "Man, what you be smoking on, man?" No hesitation. Man, he just started chopping it up with me. I'm the oldest in the group on. Well, it was me and one other guy that ended up coming. We was the oldest, but I was the one. It was always a little spark about me. I was just a different teenager. I was, I was the street one. Out of all the little residents, all the rest of them, they just look badass kids. So, if you ever been in a group home or know anything about a group home, you do daily outings, whether it's going to the YMCA, Barnes and Noble, going to the library. On the weekends, they might take you to Celebration Station. Back in the day, it was a putt-putt. We used to kill that. So me and Issa had ended up started getting cool to the point where all I had to do was smoke with him or give him some bud. And instead of us going out doing them little daily outings where we go to the Y, he might drop me off in the neighborhood or he might drop me off at my grandma and them crib and he go off for a few hours, do his thing. He's still getting paid for it. He just, at this point, you ain't got to babysit me. So, man, Mr. Terry ended up coming to me like, "Hey, how much you would charge me for an eighth?" Back then, eighths was $50. I'm telling you, 50 to no less than 40. 40 was still kind of unheard of because everybody wanted that for 50. $50 an eighth, $100 a quarter. Come on now, all the way down, killing them. So I tell him, 50. He was like, "I give you 40. Cool." He looking out for me on top of that. So Terry started buying the weed from me. They ended up hiring this other young dude named Joe. Joe ended up being the one that wanted to be like the super employee. Like he wanted to keep his foot on our necks for no reason. He was young too. All of them was still in college. Like only thing that Mr. Lorenzo hired was college students, black men. Man, he come in there regulating everything, wanting to check rooms, bro. They never did no room searches or nothing. The most searches that they would do is when you come back from your home pass, they would check your suitcase or your bags. make sure you ain't got nothing on you. But I'm already on the putting the putting the weed in your nuts. You know what I'm saying? I would never the one that put it in your butt. That's just what me. But so they don't hire Mr. Joe. He a super cop. He wanted to check rooms and stuff. He couldn't find it, but you could definitely smell it. You could definitely smell it. And once she started moving around stuff, even putting it in mason jars and stuff back in the day. Once you don't open up the jar a couple of times, finger fucked on the weed, touching back on the jar, oh yeah, it smells like weed. You can't hide it. So he smelled the weed and he searching, but he could never find the weed because of where I'm putting it at. So Mr. Joe don't like me. Mr. Joe already know that I'm one of the ringleaders in there, like, so he started doing little weird stuff like let him smell our fingertips. Some of the little niggas in there I would smoke with or I was selling weed. And then they had us on Ritalin and Abilify and Tramadol or whatever it's called. But I got smart with mine. I started, putting my pills up under my tongue because they want you to be like a zombie in there. They just want you to be a good kid, nothing more. They don't even want you to think. So they got you on medicine that'll have you in there like a zombie. I took it one time, I swear. I'm just sitting on the couch, spaced out, just looking around, TV on. When I'm looking at the wall, I couldn't think, like, yeah, that ain't something that you want to be on, man. I wasn't crazy, man. I was just bad as hell. I wasn't no crazy, throwed out bipolar ass nigga. Nah, I had a temper, but I was just bad. Just throwed off, bad as hell. Excuse my joint. But, so Mr. Joe, he don't like me. He already figured that I'm one of the ringleaders. He already see that I kind of got in my way in there because I don't never get no write-ups. I always get all my points and my stars to make my home passes. But I don't really do no chores or nothing because I give the little younger boys in there a sack of weed and they gonna do all the chores in the crib. What got me knocked off was they didn't know where to go smoke it. Because they didn't know that they can jump out the window at night. They ain't know none of that. So they'll try to do little stuff like ask could they ride the bikes around the neighborhood. Because we had a low level group home. So we got a little bit of leniency in there where we had bikes and all types of stuff in the neighborhood that we was in. It was a neighborhood way down Alamance Church Road off a short road. So that's out in the country where, ain't nobody out there but white kids and, little farmland and stuff like that. So they would let us ride the bikes around the neighborhoods. We going to school in the group home. So we did make friends in there. Well, sometimes they'll let us ride the bus. Most of the time we was car riders though. But like, it was like we was at a regular, like at home with mom and dad, but that ain't mom and dad in that motherfucker. It's a group home. So the little young ones, they want to ride around the neighborhoods on the bikes, smoke weed, smoke cigarettes. One of the neighborhoods ended up telling one of the workers, which was Mr. Joe, that they seen two of the guys from the group home smoking weed on the bike. Of course, they young, they scared. So they tells, because I goes home on a Friday for one of my home passes. So now I ain't in there. So now they questioning everybody, wanting to know, well, Mr. Lorenzo and Mr. BJ, them the directors. They questioning everybody, wanting to know where the weed is coming from and, why they smoking weed in the group home. We supposed to be rehabilitating ourselves. I'm high. So one of the little young boys tell them that it's me. I'm bringing in the weed in there and stuff, blase, blase. So I get back. You got to come back on Sundays around, I think it was 6 or 7 p.m. So I come back from my home pass, and they extra search my suitcase and stuff down. They even strip search me in the bathroom this time, and they don't never do nothing like that. So Mr. BJ come and pull me to the side, and he like, hey man, we need to talk. after you done had your shower and put all your stuff away. We need to talk. I'm in the room putting the stuff away. Mr. Lorenzo just busts in the room. Normally, they would give you a courtesy knock. You know, they wouldn't just pop up in your room or nothing like that. They'd give you, look, hey, you know, and it was on you to tell them, you know, to come in and stuff. If you want to hear part 2 of this story, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I'm gonna drop part 2.